That's the one!
Hello everyone, this is the best podcast we got. I'm Justin.
And I'm Steven.
And today we're going to be reviewing
Masters of the Universe.
This is an epic saga.
It is.
Well,
it's awesome.
It comes from the cartoon, right?
Yes, it was a Masters of the Universe with He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman.
Yep.
You know, all the favorites.
The classic cartoon that we were all raised on. I think that was channel.
I don't think we were
37.
all raised on that one.
Well,
I think it was
those who lived in the
select
90s. The 90s. Who are still around today, us old.
Yeah,
from the 90s.
I guess they did remake it,
Yeah.
and I think Netflix is actually rebooting it.
Oh, really?
It's coming out soon, yeah.
I know that it was like on one of those. It wasn't on like the main channels at first, like 30, 34, 35, 36.
I couldn't even tell
It
you.
was on like the ABC cartoon
Kids
channel.
or something like that. Yeah, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
That's where you could have saw He-Man in cartoon form. This was, though, the live action version of
Well, if you love the animated series, it has nothing to do with the animated series. So
This takes everything you love and strips it out.
And well, they make some subtle attempts. Like they have some, like all the main characters in the animated show are there.
Yeah.
They're just not really well represented.
Yeah.
You know, like Skeletor's there. Evil Lyn is there. Beastman. You know, they have a couple. You know, that are in there.
Yeah.
But it's just like they're just so small that their characters aren't really fleshed out. Not that they weren't really deep characters anyway in the animated show.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about this movie the most is the cheese.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
80s cheese.
that 80s cheese that we were talking about with Howard the Duck. This is the same, but just a little bit more. It seems like they took everything that was cool in the 80s and was just like, let's mash this all together in a big hodgepodge and just serve it up. You know what I mean?
Grilled cheese stuff.
Yeah, they got Conan, they got Star Wars, heavily influenced on Star Wars.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you watch this is like
This
they
is
got,
like
stormtroopers.
the whole first scene. It's like stormtroopers. Looks like it's Star Wars.
It's like Darth Skeletor. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like he really acts like Darth Vader, except he's just really like what is it, like a diva?
Yeah.
He has like this like certain persona he puts on, like I am the ruler of Castle Grayskull in Eternia.
Yeah.
Do what I say, and he's just like has this pompous like,
Yeah.
I am awesome. You know, it's just like
it has a. I think it's funny. It feels like they were going for a Return of the Jedi. The rebels seem to be on their back foot. Well, the Eternians seem to be on their back foot.
yeah.
And they've already seemed to have lost, really. And the only thing that can save the day is He-Man.
He-Man. I just
And Men-at-Arms.
Man-at-Arms and I don't even know. Tila. There was I think she actually is getting it's Sheila in the animated show, and she got her own startup, her own TV show too.
Their own TV show.
It might have been Tila. I think it's Shiva or Sheila. I don't remember because it wasn't that good.
But basically, in the movie, so spoiler alert's coming, but they have a key that basically can unlock the Sorceress, who is the Sorceress of Grayskull, who is the yin to the yang of Skeletor. She is just as powerful as the mighty Skeletor, with her magic.
It's
and
like
his
the
magic.
light. It's
Like
really
her stuff.
close. It's really like Jedi vs Sith.
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
feel to it. It really does feel like that. Yeah. Except they went really into the magic.
Yeah.
You know.
And so basically, there's a dwarf who is a key master, of course.
Inventor, dwarf.
Yeah.
You know.
And he has a key that can get her out. For some reason, in the process, does not get her out. Instead, jettisons them to Earth.
Well, it's because the stormtroopers, I mean Skeletor's troops, they barge into the throne room where the sorceress is being kept, and they have to scramble to get out of there, and then he just hits in some random coordinates and accidentally sends them to Earth.
Yeah. This backwater planet where there's a bunch of people who look like them.
Yeah, except they have...
except they eat animals.
Yeah, it was so funny how, like, pro-vegan or vegetarian the Eternians are, because, like, they have a scene when they steal a bucket of chicken wings and ribs.
So good.
And they start eating it and like, oh wow, this is really good. What is this? And then Man of Arms like, oh, this is animal.
I can tell by the bones.
Yeah, I can tell by the bones. Yeah, it's actually pretty quirky to see. One thing I that is very lacking in this film is dialogue.
Yeah.
Like
bad written dialogue.
It's like I don't even know. Like it's just bad. Like.
And like us skating through this is essentially what is happening in the movie.
It's pretty much, we haven't missed the story beat yet. You know, yeah. Literally.
Because all throughout this plot, they're trying to put these mini plots together. There's like a love scene going on with
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox's
Julie.
character.
Who is Julie. And then is it Robbie? The guy? I don't know, the 80s dude the musician.
So basically, Julie and her boyfriend, she's deciding whether she wants to leave him or go to...
You're missing the biggest plot point. She lost her parents in an airplane accident.
Her parents in an
now
airplane
listen
accident.
to this. This movie. Kevin, Mr. Unremarkable, because he really...
Yeah, he really.
Not
is
really in
And
it until all of a sudden at the end he's in it.
Because he's slightly a musician.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he has perfect pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. You know? I don't know. But,
he's only useful for the last 10 minutes of the movie.
He really is. He's just kind of like... but anyway, the story keeps really going into the fact that in order for... I want to say Courtney Cox. Julie is... Julie Julie didn't go with her parents to the beach. So instead, her parents took an airplane on vacation, and unfortunately, her parents died in the plane crash. So then, Julie feels bad. It feels like
blames herself.
It mostly seems like she blames Kevin, because then she's gonna break up with him and move out of town.
Yeah. So
I mean and they mentioned that twice at this point when they're eating chicken, and we're about 10-15 minutes in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I mean, basically, she goes in. She goes to say her last goodbyes to Kevin, and goes and waits for him at the. Well, they're saying their goodbyes at the cemetery, and she then goes
to the high school for a mic check thing.
Of course, on their way to the high school, they come across the key.
Yeah.
Which is what He-Man and Man-at-Arms and all of them are looking for.
Yeah.
They take the key, and they're like, wow, look at this cool music instrument.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely Japanese. This is a synthesizer.
Japan.
Yeah. This is a
synthesizer.
Synthesizer.
Yeah. Synthesizer.
Yep. Boom! Nailed it.
So he starts pushing all the keys, which allows Skeletor to find out where they are, and he can send now with their key a bunch of his goons.
No, they can like locate it because Kevin is. Oddly enough, it could have been a synthesizer because all the keys on it. It looks like a pine cone.
With a bunch of forks sticking out of it.
Yeah, it's like a forky pine cone, and like all the buttons around it make like these musical notes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that far fetched that it is some kind of instrument because it does kind of make music. So I mean, that's kind of cool that they.
And it does a little luminescent.
Little light show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
So they got their first laser show back in the 80s.
Yeah. What? When did Pink Floyd come out? I don't know. He kind of he popularized the laser show, I think.
Oh yeah, popularized.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, the goons, they locate where they are because he's pressing all the buttons. He leaves to go take the device to a musician expert who owns a store.
First thing out of his mouth, oh, I've definitely seen one of these before.
Yeah.
Total bullshit. It's like an alien technology. He's like, oh yeah, I've seen this.
And Julie is sitting at the prom where she is not going to be attending because she's leaving. So she's just kind of giving this look over of what she's missing out on.
It's final, like, what is it called? Like,
it's like a goodbye.
Nostalgic, like, look at the,
It's like, this is like a big event for...
I'm leaving this all behind.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
Lifetime
aliens just come in and just start... instead of just...
Terrorizing.
But this is the funny part. Instead of, like, Beastman, right? He just starts beating the crap out of the janitor.
And then one of the funniest... Well, actually, the movie is pretty... It goes from Star Wars to, like, some kind of weird Lifetime thing. And then instantly when the monsters show up, horror movie. Like the style just, like, really goes horror movie. It feels like an 80s horror movie, like with that scene. And then, but the funniest part is Beastman. He is obviously probably the most intimidating one.
Yeah.
Because the other guy is just wearing chainmail, and then you got a discount Predator.
Yeah.
But Beastman, it kind of looks freaky. But he's chasing Julie, and then he gets hung up on this tassel curtain, and he is just like hamming it up. Like he's like, yeah! It really is just tassel, and he's just like he's almost stuck, pissed off at hitting the tassel. But it's just a funny moment because they make it look like so much is going on, but really he's just following her beyond stage. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know.
They spend the next couple minutes really just chasing her, and then He-Man comes to the rescue. He-Man defeats the bad guys, and then they go back and tell...
You're missing a crucial part here.
What?
Julie shoots someone.
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
She does shoot one of the...
This comes in handy later. When they're in the back room, and Kevin gets handed the gun, as if Julie hasn't already taken some fucking names.
Yeah. She has some bodies under her belt. Yeah. But no, like, literally... She picks up a gun pretty fast and starts, like, helping out.
Hands her the gun. His gun.
The sidearm, yeah.
Yeah. Because he has the sword. He doesn't need that. He can block bullets.
The only thing one little side note, though, is the style of the costume that He-Man is wearing is pretty much him in an underwear and cape.
Yeah.
And you have, like, all these cool... Everyone else has, like, futuristic... armor on. Except He-Man. He's just like a barbarian in like the Middle Ages. It's just weird.
Well, I think Beastman also has like chainmail on. So it's
but it could be interpreted as like cool 80s space armor.
Yeah.
You know? Like Beastman has like it looks like they went for like a Japanese thing with him.
Yeah.
He has like almost like a I don't know, like the Japanese scaling thing that he has. I don't know. But it looks cool. Cool costume design with the bad guys. One of them looks kind of like Bowie from Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were pretty cool costume choices for the bad guys anyway.
Yeah, the bad guys I thought looked good. They just weren't good bad guys.
No, well, I think they did take this good from the cartoon because all the bad guys are completely inept. Like they are just the worst goddamn soldiers or mercenaries ever. Because I mean, they get foiled by, like, a high school...
I feel like that was so common for the time, though. A lot of the villains were just like, you looked at me, I have fallen! Whereas now most bad guys are like...
Even stormtroopers, they have, like, the worst aim.
Yeah.
They have the worst aim and they get hit once and they're like...
Well, at least, I will say about the stormtroopers in this. Yeah. That's basically what they were. Would actually drop down, get... cover.
they were like a slightly better than a stormtrooper tactically.
Back to the plot.
But yeah, basically, so for the rest of this, you know, I feel like we're really going into detail.
It's a paper thin plot.
It's paper thin plot. So let's just call it like it is. It's like they go basically do a runaround of trying to find out where this key is, all slightly missing each other every single time.
I get slightly to do this. Right after the high school, then it's they track it down to the music shop where Kevin had brought it. And he plays it again, and then they go and find go to the music stop. They go there, and then they corner He-Man. Also gets there with the group before the bad guys go there. Then they have the music place surrounded.
Yeah.
And then there's like a kind of like a standoff in there, and then the big plot point where Julie's parents were killed in the plane crash come up when Evelyn disguises herself as Julie's mother.
Yeah.
Then she takes the key to her mother, which turns out to be Evelyn.
Yeah.
And then pretty much He-Man finds it on a space skateboard scooter thing, and instantly gets it back within 10 minutes. 5 minutes, maybe. And then at this point, Skeletor and his army has come to Earth
to invade. They
capture the good guys and hold them ransom. So, because Skeletor is pretty much pointing guns at all of He-Man's gang, and says, "I won't kill them if you hand over the key." So he does. And then they go back to Castle Grayskull for the epic final showdown between He-Man and Skeletor, which is cool.
Well, wait. He-Man's captured.
Yes, and then when they go back to it.
But it's not He-Man who does the rescuing here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kevin comes into play.
Kevin finally becomes relevant. You don't want to miss that because he remembers the tune that was played on the...
Because he has perfect pitch.
Yeah, and he ends up... well, he has to do this because Julie was poisoned.
Yes, by the evil space whip thing. No, it was just Skeletor's little beam. The force beam thing that's poisonous, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's better than just regular force.
The Emperor doesn't poison you when he shoots electric
bolts.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
But he also doesn't have Jedi powers either.
That's true.
Sith powers.
He just has the lightning. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But he's cooler.
And basically, so he has no choice. He has to go there.
Yeah, to save Julie.
And they get there, and there's a huge battle goes on. He-Man breaks away, and of course, even though it should have been too late, he saves the day somehow.
Because eventually the Sorceress loses all of her power, and her power is transferred into Skeletor, which becomes a god.
Which becomes a samurai god.
It's samurai, Skeletor god.
Yeah.
And then they have the epic showdown. And then He-Man has this. He goes, "I have the power." He steals his sword back, and then suddenly is imbued with all this power that's never explained. And then he takes down Skeletor.
Because he really didn't have any special powers.
The whole movie.
He had the sword.
The whole movie had the sword.
Doesn't make any sense.
He didn't say, "I have the power."
Yeah,
he needs to say, "I have the power" before he has the power.
This is a lesson to you. So if you want to actually have the power, you gotta say it.
You gotta proclaim that to the world that you have it.
Yeah, and He-Man saves the day. Julie is unpoisoned at this point.
So do you want to get into the acting?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can do it for you in one sentence. The only good one was Courtney Cox.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Courtney Cox was the best actor.
She carried the movie.
Obviously.
She really does carry the emotional investment in the character.
Nobody else can play the emotional.
Dolph Lundgren is just
even the scene where he's trying to care for Courtney Cox. He's just like, "Oh, are you okay? I am a robot."
Yeah, it's he's this barbarian soldier guy, and everything that he talks to that a human, a normal person, he talks down to they're a child. Yeah.
Well, he is a giant man.
He's a giant dude, and it's he's a soldier and everything, but his acting is just very, very flat. Yeah. And whoever wrote for him is just we have to go to Skeletor's lair now.
Yeah.
You know, it's
everything's direct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad guys are here. I have to kill them. You stay here. Here's my gun. It's he doesn't really say anything that doesn't propel the plot.
You think there's a director's cut out there where he has 7 more lines?
I really don't. And then
not a lot of lines.
You know, something I didn't realize until the last time when we watched this was Skeletor is actually very forgiving.
Yeah.
He's just like, bow to me, and you could be...
I'm just trying to make this place a better world, okay?
He doesn't really... He just wants power. He's just like...
Yeah.
He's just... At every opportunity, he doesn't kill He-Man. Yeah. Like, he gives him a lot of chances. It's almost like he doesn't want to kill him.
He also doesn't kill all the other people.
No, he never really kills anybody. He's so inept, though. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. He isn't...
Doesn't seem like that bad.
Like, Palpatine will murder you. You know what I mean? But Skeletor, he will, like, try not to kill you. He just wants you to deal.
Gives you every single chance.
Every opportunity.
Well, he does say in the beginning that he can't kill He-Man because then he makes him a martyr.
Yeah, but I think he just, like, I really want He-Man on my side, you know? Like, he just really
that body oil.
Yeah, I guess. He's like, yeah, he's a handsome man.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah. It can go in a different... But yeah, I mean, the acting is, like, again, Courtney Cox. I mean, the bald police guy that we didn't really talk about, but he's in a...
He's also... I feel like that's his role.
Yeah. That douchey kind of...
What was that guy's name?
He was... I don't know his name, but he was in Back to the Future. He's the history teacher in all the Back to the Futures.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's kind of... His part he played...
I know it was, like, Detective Lubick. That was his name.
Lubick.
Yeah,
Lubick.
Yeah, at the end he has his... He's
shotgun.
blasting the stormtroopers with a shotgun.
And he is totally kicking ass with his shotgun. And it almost like... You can see the laser coming, but you don't see the pellets coming from the shotgun. It just looks more intimidating.
It's just funny because it's like they have these futuristic laser guns, and he's
killing
them with the shotgun, and you'd expect the shotgun.
And
it's not.
It's just like he's slaughtering them, like he's mowing them down with the shotgun. They have like repeating laser rifles. But let's not forget the dwarf guy. Do you remember his name?
Gwynlor.
He kind of was a good part.
Yeah.
His his role,
relief.
It was like you kind of feel for him, like you want him to, you know.
The biggest downfall of the movie was the fact that their prosthetics didn't move. So he would have been hilarious. I mean, he was hilarious, but he would have been even funnier if when he was saying things, his face moved.
It was so funny. Like, I think... Obviously, I have a high tolerance, or I'll give the movie a lot of
leeway
on prosthetics, because as a kid I never even noticed the lip.
Yeah.
And then you said it, and then I was like, that's the only thing I saw was how bad.
Yeah.
Like the lip wasn't moving at all,
or it would just be going really fast and it didn't match up with.
Yeah, and even Skeletor's. Prosthetic.
Yeah, everything.
What does it move?
You see his teeth, and he's just like everything he says.
Like, his chin moved, and then like the around the rubber around the lips would kind of move.
Yeah,
but like it didn't move much, you know. And
even some of the characters in the movie did that because they did a lot of voiceover. Like He-Man would be like talking, and it just like
didn't sync very well.
Didn't sync up.
But the acting is not great. But I do like the style. Yeah. Like, this is a thing that I do really like this movie, even when I was a kid, was the effects. Yeah. Like the creature designs in them and the...
Well, it looked like they did put a decent amount of money.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially at the time, I mean, when the ships come in...
It was $20 million they put into the movie.
22 million.
22 million. And they gained $17 million.
Wow! So they actually made money on this?
No, they made no money.
They made no money.
They made 17, but they put 22.
Oh, I see. I don't know why they didn't make another one, because they so wanted one.
Well, like at the end, they couldn't justify the ends because they didn't even make it put it a couple cost.
It's not like they only lost a couple $100,000. They lost $4.7
There's just
million.
no more gamers in Hollywood anymore. Ready to risk.
You gotta be able to roll the dice.
You gotta be able to roll the dice to make
the
it classic.
second one is gonna be so much better. We're gonna draw them all back in.
It's so funny too because we finished watching the movie and then we're sitting just talking about it. And then the tease at the end is Skeletor popping up out of like a pool of liquid, and his head is like, "I'll be back," or something like that.
Just such an 80s thing to happen.
And they were just like, "No, you won't, Skeletor. No, you won't." But again, the reason why I do love this movie is it has a very distinct 80s style. And like the combats, or the fight scenes are a little, and the action's a little wonky. But it's very like the use of like red lighting, blue lighting. Like they did that a lot in the 80s. Like it was very like it gave it a lot of style.
Yeah.
And almost a grit to it that you just don't see anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost like some scenes in a Hellraiser, some scenes in Nightmare on Elm Street, like all those old 80s movies, like kind of 80s horror. They have like that style in this film, but it's very sci-fi and total rip-off of Star Wars. But it's cool. Like even I think the Emperor falling down the giant, and then Skeletor falls the same way. Like it's very generic, but I did like how they put it all together. Like
they did take a lot from Star Wars. I think that was successful.
Yeah.
Let's
hop on this gravy train.
Yeah. And it did have it had that good 80s feel to it, like a very fun 80s movie where it's gonna be like a decent action movie, but it's gonna have that little bit of like 80s fun. You know what I mean?
It's like, it doesn't take itself serious at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is cool. Like it's fun to watch. It's a good movie. I'd recommend it if you're into that kind of thing. You know, if you're into like cheesy 80s
movies, that's really what it was. The main problem that I had with it was there's like a plot, an overarching plot, and if you just went with that, it'd probably be a 20-30 minute movie.
Yeah,
right?
It's very
all these little side plots, which is no relevance to the movie itself.
It's like very forcefully injected into this plot. Like,
it's just like I was saying before with Howard the Duck, how they like forced stuff into the plot. They kind of did the same thing. Like, I feel like they didn't write these in. They're like, hey, you know what'd be a good idea? Let's put a teenage love story in there. Wait, but the girl should have dead parents.
Because we need tragedy.
But we love a happy ending, so let's bring them back.
Yeah.
So it's like they tried to like squeeze everything into it, and it just wasn't there.
You could really cut this movie down to about an hour. I think it's an hour 45.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that. It's almost 2 hours.
I mean, fuck, you could cut it down to 45 minutes.
You probably could. But you want...
I mean, heck, they could have stayed in the throne room, fought them off, because it seems like they could have just did that anyway. And then just broke the queen out.
Then nothing changes except a couple of teenagers in a detective with shotguns.
They talked about going to get reinforcements. They got the detective with the shotgun.
That's all they got. Because Kevin, the dwarf, and Julie, they don't fight in the end.
Yeah.
So it's really
pretty much useless.
And it's funny too because the budget-wise, like Eternia, the only parts of it you see this desert spot, and then the throne room. That's it. Like
they put a lot of money into it. That's why.
It looks nice and everything like that, but it begins and ends in the throne room. Yeah. Like that's it. Like you don't really see any other.
They probably did that in one day.
They probably did. It's the only time they can afford the studio space, you know. But I mean, it's fine.
Well, and you know, He-Man's character Dolph Lundgren, you know, he probably at that time was higher paid.
He's not. Or he's like the lesser Stallone.
Yeah.
Like he's like it's Stallone and then a few and then Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan of Dolph Lundgren films.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, he had the He-Man size. That's what
he was actually a big dude. He actually fits the role good. I think it's a good choice, especially at the time.
Whoa!
Yeah, and for being the lunky, like, whatever, like, he's fine.
He's fine, yeah. I think I like the action. The only thing, he has these weird expressions.
Yeah, his expressions don't fit the
because he looks hurt a lot. Like, he looks like he's really...
Well, like I said, like when he was doing that scene where he's trying to console Julie, I didn't get that.
I don't think Julie felt that either.
Yeah.
and it's funny too because when he's consoling her, he's like, it's gonna be okay. And then just picks her up for no reason. Like, her leg isn't broken.
Yeah.
Like, she can walk.
Yeah.
But he picks her up anyway. He's like, this is what I do.
It's one of those films that it's fun to watch. It's nostalgic if you...
Like me, I grew up watching it. It was funny, too, because I, as a kid, all I did was watch movies a lot. And I had these, I'd remember scenes of this movie and had no idea it was Masters of the Universe. Because it was like some of the horror, not horror scenes, but like the action scenes, like when she pretends to be the mother or when they attack Julie in the high school. It's like, it doesn't feel like it would be from a He-Man movie.
That happens to me all the time where it's like, I don't remember what a scene was in my head from the movie until I watch that movie. I'm like, oh.
Well, I think it's because like 75% of movies from that time frame all look the same.
They do.
The camera quality all looks the same, and like especially when you're able to associate it with an old movie. You know what I mean? You watch that camera quality, you know when that movie was made.
Like Howard the Duck. They
look identical.
Even Star Wars, way better quality, but still same look.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Before that remastered shit came out, absolutely.
Yeah, because it was like they had a lot of before CGI was really good. They had the matte backgrounds, which were just paintings. They had the claymation, and then the very wonky laser effects.
Yeah,
the things like that, like rotoscoping. I think it's called.
Clunky studios too. It's not After Effects polished, so it's like you could just tell like that's paper mache.
That too. Like the float. Skeletor's float is like, oh god, that's
you can tell it's a float.
The best thing about that float is when he rises up above the building, and then when he's going back down, they just reverse the scene.
Yeah, it's just the reverse of the film going down. But it seriously, the float is really a ripoff of the skiffs. The skiffs in Return of the Jedi.
There's a lot of Star Wars in this movie.
There's a lot of Star Wars.
So if you like Star Wars, this is not the same.
No. It's just as good. I'm just kidding. It's not as good, but it's cool. It's like if you watch Star Wars 1,000 times and want to watch something like it, that's different.
Or if you just want to laugh at like an old movie,
yeah,
and just, not have to think at all.
Yeah, exactly. This is it's a fun movie. You should watch it at least once.
Unlike there's some.
It'll have you appreciate other things.
There's some comedies now, but like there's a bunch of 80s movies 80s movies that like you can just get a group of friends together, have a couple of beers, and watch this movie. You'll laugh.
It's one of those movies too where like you're not going to be mad if someone like talks or makes fun of something. You know what I mean?
Because you're not missing anything.
You're not. Like we were talking through like the majority of the movie, not in like conversation way. We were just like, look at his face, it's not moving. Yeah. Look at that. Look at this. Like, the entire time.
We were pretty much cracking out of the movie. Well, I think that's fun.
And we missed nothing, so it was perfect.
It's something that's like. Another funny one like that would be Return of the Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a paper-thin plot. It's funny. The movie is legitimately funny, but, like, get a group of people and a couple of beers, I mean, you have a good time watching that movie.
So what would you rate the movie, then? Out of 5?
1 out of 5.
I'm going to give this 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah, I really do like this
movie.
It's better than How the Duck.
I'll give it a 2.5. Yeah. It's a good movie. It's one of those ones though, like I said, I'd probably watch it once.
Let me explain though. This is not like a 4.5 quality, but I really did.
Steven is tainted by nostalgia.
Yeah, I am tainted by nostalgia.
Fully tainted by nostalgia.
Like this isn't like a work of art in the sense like it's like one of the best movies ever made. But it's super fun.
It has a place in your heart.
It does. It's awesome. I really do like this movie.
It doesn't in mine.
It doesn't.
And that's why I got a 2.5.
Steven's first question to us when it finished, he literally just looks over and was like, better or worse than Howard the Duck? So what do you think?
Yeah. It's a different movie.
What do you think? Was it better?
I think it's
you did say better.
I said it's slightly better in its maybe category. You know what I mean?
For what it was. Well, they're both kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, I know, but Howard the Duck, I feel like...
It's more of a comedy.
Yeah, it's more of a comedy, and it's structured that way.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was...
more like a straight-up action film. Yeah. Alright, I got you.
So I in that aspect, too, and also Howard the Duck is what was supposed to be like like a superhero kind of thing, too.
Yeah, but not really.
But it's not really. It's
I get it.
And Howard the Duck had boobs.
Burbs!
Had duck boobs.
Well... If you count Dolph Lundgren's chest all the time, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were bigger than the duck's tits.
There's plenty of chesticles in this movie. If you're looking for some dude, this is it.
If you're tired of 300.
There's one big man in this one, and you won't miss him.
He's got a mullet.
He shines.
He's basically wearing what is it
Speedo.
called? Speedo. The whole
Except,
movie.
You know.
A Speedo with leather straps.
And golden shoulder
I really
pads.
don't like the costume design for his character.
Yeah.
They could have went with something cooler. You know? It looks like some kind of weird
I feel like
shit.
they're like, okay, let's make it so different for the from the cartoon, except for He-Man. We're gonna make him nude.
He doesn't wear a cape.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't. Well, that's pretty spot
that's
on.
what I mean. He looks just like the comic.
Yeah.
I'm
except
not
for
the
the
comic.
cape.
Just
like
like
the
cartoon.
animated series. Yeah.
No, this is how they should have done his hair.
No. That's just.
They should have given him the bowl
You
cut.
would have looked like a very intimidating, like.
So that would have put my rating from a 2.5 to a 3.
That haircut.
That haircut alone.
That would have been terrifying. I think He-Man would have been like He-Man.
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 With that He-Man cut, that would have been.
Yeah, that cut was.
That would have turned it from an action movie to a comedy, and I would have enjoyed it.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird? The He-Man haircut is also the Conan haircut, except Conan has longer hair.
We talked about
But they have the
this.
bowl cut. Yeah, it's
like
the
right
same
afterwards.
haircut.
It's like they made He-Man and Conan and
Star Wars.
Thundercats.
Yeah.
All like the same kind of character.
Yeah.
He-Man does the thing with the sword. Thundercat. Oh.
Well, I mean, in the animated show, he's just Prince something. He's not He-Man. Yeah. He's not He-Man until he puts the sword up and goes, I have the power.
Yeah.
And then he has the caveman suit. Yeah. The underwear and the vest.
And Conan's just a barbarian the whole time.
All the time. He doesn't need to tell anyone he has the power.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
But he's like basically He-Man.
Yeah, it's pretty much He-Man.
So, if you like this movie, if you'd like to see this movie, I think you should give it a watch. Everyone should give it a
I think you should definitely
chance.
watch it. It's awesome.
You might like it.
They don't make the movies like this anymore.
They definitely don't make movies like this anymore.
I wonder why.
Because this movie does not make money. But yeah, give it a look, a watch, if you will.
And let us know if you like these 80s cheese, because I'll just keep recommending them.
Steven will keep
I
us
got
watching
a whole
them.
list. I have them all on DVD and VHS.
If you'd like us to review something else, please let us know in the comments below. And like us and subscribe, obviously, to YouTube and our other social media platforms. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
All right, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good journey.
Good journey.
Good journey.
I think it was like this.